Linguistics. The origin of language. Para number 1. Man is inquisitive by nature. He has tried to investigate the nature of both micro as well as macrocosm. Language, which is the most important human activity, has remained a subject of various contemplations by language scholars over the centuries. In this attempt, they have addressed themselves to the whole range of issues which are related to the origin of language. For example, when was language first oriented? Where was language first originated? How was it originated? What was its first form? In order to find out answers to these questions, linguists have studied the language used by children, speech of the primitive societies, the behavior of the higher animals, and the state of people suffering from speech defects. There have been a number of perspectives through which language has been studied, yet none of them is scientific. Thus, all the attempts to reconstruct the vestiges of primitive language are based on speculations. Below are given some of the most important views of theories to account for the origin of language. Para number 2. Mythological views. Mythologies are not just the tales of various imaginary gods and goddesses, they are considered to be the first rational and consistent approaches by human beings to understand himself and the vast universe around him. In Egyptian mythology, Thoth is supposed to be the creator of language in this world. And Soshit, the goddess of the art of writing, served Thoth as his secretary. In Chinese mythology, God created a seahorse which spoke the Chinese language. This seahorse is supposed to have spots on its body which eventually formed the basis of Chinese orthography, which consists of pictures. The people of India identified language with a goddess called Vagdevi, Vagword, Devi goddess, and god Indra is supposed to have invented articulate speech. Thus, the mythological views contain that language was created by various gods and goddesses. It is not a human creation. Para number 3. Religious views. According to Islam, language is a divine gift. The Quranic view does not subscribe to the evolution theory with regard to language. Similarly, the biblical account, representing ancient Jewish beliefs, of Adam's naming the creatures of the earth under God's guidance is quite well known. Thus, religions associate language to God's gift to human beings. It implies that language was created in its perfect form. Para number 4. Interjection theory, the most famously known as poo-poo theory, is a creation of the 19th century. According to this theory, language emerged as a result of certain kinds of exclamations by man in various circumstances. Man is a synthesis of strange moods, sometimes he is happy and sometimes depressed. He may laugh and cry. In these moods, he must have made some noises which eventually paved the way for the type of language spoken these days. But this theory does not explain the aspect of creativity in language. Para number 5. Mimetic theory. It is known as bow wow theory. According to this, language originated as a result of imitating natural sounds of animals, grumbles, sneezing, clouds, winds, air, etc. The words like splash, cuckoo, drum, etc. are based on sound-symbol relationship. This theory also has its limitations. It does not explain the articulated structure of language. This theory explains only a part of the vocabulary of any language. Para number 6. Nativistic theory. According to this theory, there is mysteriously a harmony between sound and sense symbols. Man has a peculiar instinctive faculty by which every external impressions that he receives is given vocal expression. Thus he has the instinctive ability to name things, persons, places, and actions, etc. This theory is based partly on the mentalistic and partly on the behavioristic notions of stimulus, response, reinforcement, and repetition. But this theory also explains nothing but the terms etc. Para number 7. Interactive theory. According to this theory, language originated as a result of noises made by a group of people engaged in some activity, for example, moving a tree or stone, etc. We are quite likely to make various grunts, grums, etc. This theory explains the distinction of sounds in terms of vowels and consonants. It envisages the origin of language in a situation involving human cooperation. The words like cut, break, haul could be explained in this way. Para number 8. Gesture theory. According to this theory, gestures preceded proper speech. The sign language used by the Red Indians is still used in North America. Gestures are used even today in almost all the languages of the world. Para number 9. Musical theory. Man is so made by nature that he is greatly moved by music, rhythm, and intonation. Almost every person is a disguised singer. He likes to imitate others singing songs. Thus, the musical nature of man could have been the motive force behind the origin of proper language. Para number 10. Social contact theory. Man is essentially a social animal. He likes to live with others for his safety, security, and satisfaction. So it is quite possible that he might have made contact with other fellow beings through sounds, cries, calls, eventually through words. Para number 11. Anthropological views. It investigates the relationship between language and culture. As the various stages in human civilization suggests a gradual growth and development, similarly language developed probably out of what could have been instinctive noises, gestures, etc. So it was quite later in human civilizations that we acquired the present shape of language. Para number 12. All the discussion given above suggests that it is hard to know scientifically about the origin of language. So all these theories are partially true and none of them is completely wrong.